Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. Today we are looking at Facebook Inc. ticker symbol FB. Gonna look at the fundamentals of the stock, give my valuation based on discounted free cash flow and the Buffett Graham intrinsic value, and then have a look at some of the technicals to see what they're saying, whether Facebook is a buy or sell in the short term. But we're going to be looking at my valuation of the stock. So let's just quickly look at the share price. Facebook currently has a share price of $315.43, bit down from its all-time high that was here in the start of September, which is around about 382. But if you look from basically the start of this year in 2021, it's gone up from 270 up to its all-time high and then down a bit. So pretty interesting. We're going to be touching on the technicals later on in the video. Let's have a look at the fundamentals. But first, can we get a like on the video, because you guys have really helped me out in these last few videos. A lot of people are watching them. It's getting out to a lot of people, and basically thank you. I just want to say thank you, but please give me a like and help me keep making videos for you guys. Anyway, Facebook, $888 billion market cap. They do not pay a dividend. They're in the technology sector, and as I said, $315 a share. So firstly, we want to look at the PE ratio and see if it is less than the market. 22.09 to 28.5, so that is a pass. Excellent news for Facebook. Now we want to see, is the revenue increasing? Yes, it is. This is from 4 years ago, 55 billion to 105 billion. We'll just say 105 there. So the revenue has almost doubled. Has the profit had a similar story? Yes, it has. It hasn't doubled, but you can see it's gone from 22 billion to almost 39 billion. So it's about in line with the revenue. Profit and revenue are absolutely flying on this company. Next, are Facebook buying back their shares? I'm going to say yes. Yes, they are 2.9 to 2.85. Not that much of a difference in the shares outstanding, but at least they're not issuing new shares. They're buying back their shares, which means they think that they're pretty fairly valued at the minute, because if they weren't, they'd issue more shares and maybe dilute some of the shareholders. But they do think their own company, is maybe on the undervalued side because they're buying back their shares. Finally is the free cash flow increasing, and that free cash flow has doubled, more than doubled, 15 billion to 32.1. Once again, in line with the profit and in line with the revenue, things have been doubling. So what does that mean for Facebook? Well, you can see it has 5 passes and a free cash flow ratio of 27, which is 888 billion divided by 32 billion. So that is looking pretty good in terms of the fundamentals, and a quick screen on the stock. Next, we want to have a look at my discounted free cash flow. I've calculated the future free cash flows of the company, gave a terminal value and discounted it back. So what does discounted free cash flow say about Facebook? Well, let's have a look. And they have a calculated stock price of $430 basically, which is a 36% discount. And I don't think these numbers are too out of line. This number has increased quite a bit, but if it continues steadily, I think that is fine based on the calculations above, based on the free cash flow, net income, and the free cash flow rates there. So you can see all of these numbers have been calculated, and that's what it does, is it gives a valuation of $429.22, which is pretty good for the tech stock. And I think it really shows how much free cash flow Facebook are generating, that massive revenue, that massive profit, and I think it's a good value. Even a couple of weeks ago when the stock price was 380, it was still undervalued. And next we want to look at the Buffett Graham intrinsic value, and wow, fair value of $730 a share, 113% discount, and a Graham price of $547.58, which is still an absolutely crazy discount. The reason for this is the massive earnings per share and the expected growth rate. Analysts still think Facebook can grow massively, and that is a very high earnings per share as well, with the amount of profit they've been generating. Very rare to see two greens like this, but especially on the Buffett Graham intrinsic value being so high. If they were a $730 stock, they would be a $1.6 trillion company, about the same as Google and Amazon. So maybe a little bit high, but this is seeing where the company's going. So looks good on both of those fronts. If we just quickly look at some analyst ratings, you can see that they have it at $410, high side 466, low side 300. So that is pretty in line with the discounted free cash flow. And Graham price is a bit more bullish. That fair value is very, very high. But if we're in the region of this, it looks like Facebook is a bit of a no-brainer when it comes to buying. Now let's have a quick look at the technicals. We just want to quickly look at some indicators and see what they're saying. I doubt it's going to be a great story because of this massive price drop. But the first thing I want to do is add the moving averages. I like to look at the 50-day, 100-day, and 200-day. So let's just quickly get the shortest moving average in green. Next, we want to look at, as I said, the 100-day, and we'll get that on the chart here. And finally, the longest moving average I like to look at is, of course, the 200-day. So let's just quickly get that up now. Probably should have opened these ahead of time, but what you're going to do. Okay, there you go. So we can see here that we've got the moving averages. Basically, what is it selling on the recent side? These being some obviously some bullish. That was the last time it was a golden cross. Yeah, but now we are seeing the price drop below the moving averages here, and even briefly drop below the 200-day moving average. So basically off the moving averages, this would be a sell, but I want to keep in mind that Facebook has not dropped consistently below the 200-day moving average basically since the pandemic. And if we zoom out even further, the 200-day has held basically up until March of 2019. So looking like a sell off the moving averages, but Facebook does not often drop below the 200, as I said. Next, let's just take off the shorter day moving averages so I can add some more details here. I like to look at MACD, see what's happening in terms of that, and we'll just go, we're on the daily chart here, and you can see, well, once again, very bearish sentiment here. That was when the MACD line crossed there, which would have been an excellent sell signal. There was a bit of a positive motion, but not really that much movement. So it looks like it's going down again there. Crossed on the underside, but now crossing again. So according to the MACD, it's not a buy either. And if we just look at other dates as well, the last time we had a big drop like this would have been in the pandemic. So if you bought on the cross again, you would have had a great bullish positive movement up until here. You would have bought at what, 150, we'll say, and you would have sold at 290. So I would say, in terms of this, wait for the MACD line, keeps on going down, and then if it crosses again, that would be a buy signal, but that's the thing. Very difficult to say. Next, we want to look at the RSI just to see if it's in the overbought or oversold regions. And Facebook is massively in the oversold regions. It was at its lowest a couple of days ago, but is now at a similar time. And if we look, you can see it was constantly overbought, drop below, and in the oversold region. So I would say probably the MACD is saying that you don't want to buy it. Wait for the MACD line and signal line to cross again. But this 200-day has held strong for quite a while, apart from major dips. I mean, even if we just go out till 2013, you can see it's only dropped below the 200-day moving average a couple of times. But the technicals are interesting, but long-term view on this stock, I think it looks great. Definitely undervalued according to discount free cash flow and Buffett Graham intrinsic value, and even the analysts are agreeing as well. Right guys, thanks for watching. Please give a like on the video, and I'll catch you guys next time.